Hmm? Are we live? I got a clock counting. I don't know. I've never had an error say, it says ready to go live. Oh, you're live. Okay. Welcome to the Schultzcast, Acadiana's sports show, episode 71. Schultzapalooza winding down. We're heading to the gym right after this. Mama Schultz has a 8:30 Eastern time class, so we'll be on here for about 20 minutes or so. I overdress for the gym because I get cold if I start to sweat. Although we're just going in for a quick lift. It's actually 73 and kind of humid out right now. Schultzapalooza 24 winding down. We did find this. I don't know if I told you this yesterday. We found this gift certificate from the Hotel Syracuse. And this is my grandfather. This would have been the judge's father. Gift certificate, Mr. and Mrs. Samuel Schultz. This is from my father's sister, June. You can see that, and her husband, Alfred, and the son, Russell. But I think this is from like 1966, because that's where my father was getting married. My mother's father would have paid for the wedding, right? Back in the day. And they actually would have accepted this. I went down and got a Makers and Diet, and they would have accepted it. But I kept it because it's cooler to keep it. So that's pretty neat. So we had a reunion of 30 people at the reunion, something like that. It was pretty neat. Some people had already left. My niece, one cousin had already left. People have jobs, and it's nice that, and this is in the middle of the week, right? When the 4th is in the middle of the week, if the 4th is on, a Sunday, then then everyone could come, or even a Saturday, or maybe get out of there on a Thursday and you're here for a Friday and you do the 4th on Saturday. So, anyways, winding down. My brothers both left. Eric back to DC yesterday, and the doctor's heading back to Louisville, which is where I'm heading next week. Again, we'll see if I can drive 8 hours. I don't. I'm going to drive 9 hours because I think I'm going to be able to make Nashville, but I don't think I'm going to be able to drive all the way to Louisville to start looking for a place to live. All right. Another shoe drops. No surprise. See if anything dropped overnight. Vic Valdez heading to Texas Tech. Once we found what Jerry Glasgow wanted, he got speed, he got Maya Davis, he got power, he got Lauren Aldred, experienced catcher Vic Valdez, pitching Chloe. We'll see if we got more than that. And middle infield, we'll see if Brooke ends up there. And of course, Sam Landry is the big one. I don't know if it's any of our business. It'd just be curious to know, because that's why these NILs are private institutions. That's where it's going to be really interesting. Next year, if the school starts paying the players, which is where we all think we're heading, are we going to be able to find out what everybody's making? We don't think that the Pete Thamels and the Ross Dellingers are going to go find out what this quarterback is making and that quarterback is making, that power forward is making, that center is making, the swimmer, the softball pitcher, the shortstop, right? I mean, that could all come out with public schools. That's or they could just, I don't know if they'll get a specific, right? It could just be, one budget for NIL, and we don't get specifics. So we shall see. Again, I hope these girls got the money that it was suggested that they were going to get. All right. I don't know how it actually works in terms of, when you commit, there's no real committing, in terms of a piece of paper for transferring. You just kind of show up and enroll. people think that, Sam Landry's negotiating. I hope she gets everything that's coming her way. I really do. I really do. I disagree with the people who think they should not be getting paid because that's not the way it used to be. I don't think it was that long ago where people were, coaches were not getting paid. What if we went to Bear Bryant salary, right? So that's 40 years ago. All right. Let me see. This is the Banner Society, whatever this means. This is a history of skyrocketing college football coaches' salaries from camp to Dabo. Okay. So I'm going to skip the ancient history. Bear Bryant was making $450,000 in his last year, with 104 being base salary, $300,000 from TV and radio benefits. All right, then Jackie Sherrill, surprisingly, got $240,000 from A&M. The Aggies, Aggies upset the market in 2016 when they did Jimbo Fisher's deal. While Bear's salary was the highest per year, Sherrill's was the highest in total value. Sherrill inked a 6-year deal worth $1.7 million. It was reported as the richest for any American university employee ever. So that's when it started, like 1982. Okay. Then everybody else is going to go up, right? Like, again, like Jackie Sherrill hadn't won a thing. All right. And so Barry Switzer's going to want more money. Bobby Bowden's going to want more money. Although he hadn't won a thing yet, he'd certainly made Florida State into a power. Steve Spurrier wins a couple championships, and it goes on and on and on. Les Miles, Jim Harbaugh, but that's already after the fact, right? So, a lot of people have been making a lot of money for a long time, and I just don't have a problem with the girls or anybody getting a little bit of cash. Now, I don't know how it's going to finish. I don't know how it's going to, what the end game is, but the people generating the revenue deserve a little piece of the revenue. All right. It is what it is. And these guys are making big bucks. What's Brian Kelly signed like a 8-year, $100 million contract? What's Brian Kelly's contract? All right. Now he's one of the, I do think he's one of the great college football coaches. I haven't won a damn thing in terms of national championships. Kelly's base contract is around $9.5 million. So now some more responsibility comes with being a head coach. So it's a little bit harder. Ricky Ronnie was like, yeah, no one's worried about us, right? We make a lot of money. We coach football, and now we have to figure out the new rules of the game. So we'll see if Landry goes and isn't there one, and Brooke Elstead. So we'll see. Have not seen anybody coming in yet. That's a little bit of the disappointing thing. I know the timing's not great, but again, she got the job Tuesday, was announced on Friday. It's Friday now, and I know there was a holiday yesterday, but I think Valdez announced yesterday. So I haven't seen anybody coming in. Obviously, I guess she's got some work to do to figure out, what they need. But somewhere along the way, that was probably, could see some girls coming in. I guess that's what they need. So we'll see if Sam and if Brooke announce where they're going and see if the Cajuns can get anybody to come in. All right, it is the Schultzcast. I don't know. Maybe I'm a stick in the mud. I've never hot dog eating contest. My favorite hot dog eating contest is meatballs, right? Beat the stomach. That's the one I like. Not the Kobayashi and the other guys. It's not my thing. Didn't watch it. Not going to criticize people who do, because it is funny. It's just not my thing. We did go to the zoo here yesterday. We were looking for something to do. And I guess, oddly enough, Syracuse has twin elephants, which are extremely rare. First of all, elephants' birth rate, I was told, was 50%, just one. So it's 50-50 if the baby lives. And then it's about 1% that they have twins. So there are, I think, 3 male elephants and 1 female elephant. And the female elephant and the twins were doing little tricks yesterday. And, they were feeding them and going down to their knees and, having fun. So I will say this, though. I don't think that the Syracuse City Zoo is the biggest of all things, but it's a little bit uphill. And it's a little schlep for Mama Schultz. This is a schlep for me to go from the entrance all the way to the elephant thing. We took a couple of seats. It was hot. And then you realize this is why Mama Schultz works out 3 days a week. So she could do that. That was the big thing that I got. Felt like it got hotter as we walked down. We all came back and took naps and laid down before we went out last night for dinner. But I thought that was pretty cool. We saw some birds in cages, and then they have like hawks. So there's some birds that are in cages, not the biggest of all things, but they can fly around a little bit. But then they have these hawks that are like tied to their perches. Saw a bear. That was about it. Maybe some monkeys. They were just trying to get in the shade. How about this one? Learn this one. An elephant is pregnant for 20 to 24 months. My birthday's tomorrow, so Mom's like, yeah, I was done with you at 9. I wasn't going to go for double that. I don't know if we'll have a show tomorrow. I'm going to be in the airport. I'm leaving first thing tomorrow. Let's see when we land in. Oh goodness. When we land in Atlanta, I was trying to upgrade to first class. That's not going to happen. When I checked in, I was 1 of 1. Now I'm 15 of 16. I get free upgrade if people ahead of me aren't more upgradable. Leave at 6:30. Oh, it's like finding my flight. Let's see here. So I'm probably going to land at 8. Oh, it says 8:45. So I'll be an hour late if we do a show from is it the Charlotte airport? I think it's the Charlotte airport. Or no, Atlanta airport. Atlanta airport. All right. And then I think I have a couple hours. 3 hours. 11:29, boarding at 11:30. So probably have 3 hours in Atlanta. So yeah, I could do a little bit of a show sitting there talking while. Be interesting to see how many people. I traveled, I think, last year on the 4th of July. It just worked out to where I came back on the 4th and nobody was traveling. It was empty. Like Charlotte or the Atlanta airport was empty. And I was like, this is the best day to travel. No problems whatsoever. Tomorrow will be probably a little bit busier, although I'm not sure it's 6:30 in the morning out of Syracuse. Mama Schultz loves me, but not that much. So I gotta get an Uber. I don't blame her. Again, if I get there at 5:30, I'll be fine. Right? I'll probably get an Uber at 5, maybe 4:45, just to be sure. And if something happens with the Uber, then we got to wake up Mama Schultz to to take me to the airport. But we'll probably say goodbyes tonight. Still waiting for the next shooter drop for the Pels. We haven't seen anything with that. Again, Lauri Markkanen seems to be the big name. Or is it Walker Kessler? We'll see if the holiday got in the way of that. I'm not really sure if that's a real thing. I think if they wanted to get a deal done, you'd be able to on that day. And didn't see a whole lot. Oh, we did see that. So right when I was, I think my uncle was making a big speech. And it just happened on my timeline. I think it was Pete Thamel that I saw on my timeline. He's like Decorian Moore is going to announce at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Instagram. And so my nephew started watching it and he got really frustrated because he wouldn't announce. Come on already, let's go. And, this is the number 3 recruit in the nation, number 1 wide receiver, and he's going to Oregon. So loss for LSU. I will say this, though, okay? Because I'm when kids commit this early, I mean, I don't think I'm having a tough time figuring out where I want to live right now. Bardstown or Louisville. And I know it's only going to be for I can change in 1 year, right? So I can transfer, if you will. Not jobs, but places. I don't have to, this is not a permanent thing. But, teenagers, can't make their mind up for 2 weeks. I mean, some adults have problems keeping their word for a week or a day. And now we want these kids to verbally commit and, keep their word for 4.5 months. Is that where we are? Right? All of July, August, September, that's 3. October, that's 4. Well, November is 5. In December, it's 5.5 months. He's already changed his mind once. And again, I happen to think when it's somebody like Decorian Moore, I think it's NIL money. I mean, I don't know the situation, but he committed to LSU. What changed? That's all I'm saying. When these Alabama decommits start happening, that could be some better players are coming in, or someone's getting some NIL money somewhere else. That's what I think. I don't know anything more than anybody else, but that's what I happen to think. So we'll see. We'll go back to the drawing board for LSU and see what happens. So disappointing for LSU, but I don't think that's a major surprise. All right. Although it was a little bit odd, as we got to wrap it up. We got to get to the why with Mama Schultz, right? He mocked somebody because someone said, let's see if he erased it. See if he erased the tweet. Let's see here. Because he claimed that somebody someone said he was going to Oregon, and he claimed, I haven't told anybody anything. Here you go. 5-star wide receiver Decorian Moore announced he's going to Oregon. He's the number 3 player in the country, ESPN rankings, and the country's top wide receiver. Huge get for Dan Lanning, wide receiver Junior Adams. All right. I haven't told anybody nothing about any school. Who is this guy? Oh, Pete Thamel. That's so that was 7:05 p.m. 7:05 p.m. on July 4th. All right. Still has this up, but he ended up going to Oregon. So Pete Thamel had the story. All right. Whether it was 2 hours sooner than later, whatever the case is. All right. So we'll try to have a show tomorrow. Do some shows all next week. The plan is to leave Thursday morning to transfer the bourbon up to Louisville and look for a place to live, and then come back and pack up. So we'll start to pack up when we get back this week. Banana boxes are the best, right? Again, I'm going to have the movers pack most of it up. I will try to pack up the CDs and the books, probably a couple things that I could, get rid of. Not to mention the 125 bottles of bourbon, which I have 2 more here. And if I stop in Memphis and Nashville, am I going to make pit stops for that? Oh, God. Stop already. Stop. Already 44 tuning in on a July 5th. Are people working today? I mean, I saw a lot of people working yesterday, to be honest with you. It's a lot. Grocery stores were open. I mean, what was closed yesterday? Went to Dunkin' Donuts. The Y was closed yesterday. Orange Theory had classes yesterday, although I didn't go. So what was closed? Banks, post office. A lot of people seemed like they were working yesterday. All right, everyone have a great day. Hopefully your 4th of July was a good one. Tomorrow's Saturday, so I don't need to have a show. I don't do weekends. But we'll be back in Louisville. We'll be back in Lafayette tomorrow at noonish. So everyone have a great weekend. We'll do another Lockdown Sunbelt episode. Got to get one in today. Will Arkansas State live up to the hype? They got a lot of, for the first time, there is actually pressure to win and compete for Butch Jones in the Sunbelt. So we'll get that done. Almost 50 in just 20 minutes. All right. Mama Schultz going to yell. I got to go. Talk with you guys later. Have a great weekend.